I continue to reserve.
Gentleman reserves. Does the gentlelady from Minnesota wish to yield and close?
I would rise in strong opposition to this amendment. And I'm actually quite surprised that we find ourselves here tonight attempting to overturn the National Park Service recent policy changes to stop allowing the Confederate flag to be displayed or sold in national parks. Mr. Chairman, just yesterday, this House passed an amendment after amendment supporting the removal of the symbol of racism from our national parks, which are visited every day by Americans and foreign visitors of every race. We have read about the divisive tactics happening in the South Carolina State House as they debate the removal of the Confederate flag after the murder of 9 black parishioners. I never thought that the U.S. House of Representatives would join those who would want to see this flag flown by passing an amendment to ensure the continuing flying of the Confederate flag. I strongly urge every member to stand with the citizens of all races and to remove this symbol of hatred from our National Park Service. And with that, I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentlelady reserves. The gentleman from California is recognized.
I continue to reserve.
Gentleman reserves. The gentlelady from Minnesota is recognized.
Mr. Chair, I have the right to close, so I reserve my time until I close.
Lady reserves. Gentleman from California is recognized. Gentleman from California wish to reserve.
Urge adoption of the amendment. Yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields back. The gentlelady from Minnesota is recognized.
I want to restate on June 25th what the National Park Service Director, John Jarvis, when he requested that Confederate flag sales be removed from the national park bookstores and gift shops. He also followed a decision by several large national retailers, Walmart, Amazon, and Sears, to stop selling items with Confederate flags on them. And I agreed with these decisions, and I commend those for their prompt action. While in certain and very limited circumstances it might be appropriate in a national park to display the image of a Confederate flag in a historical content, and I say that as a social studies teacher, the general display or sale of Confederate flag items is inappropriate and divisive, and I support limiting their use. So I strongly oppose this amendment, which is an attempt to negate amendments which were approved yesterday without any opposition to limit the displaying of the Confederate flag. And so we should make sure that we uphold what this House stood for yesterday, which is to say no to racism, which is to say no to hate speech. And with that, I yield back.
Gentlelady yields.